Bitcoin has finally broken through the major 17,000 psychological resistance. Are we going to be continuing upwards to 18,000, or could this be a potential bull trap? Let's go ahead, dive into the charts and find out. Okay, welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you for tuning into today's video. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin today. We're going to be focusing on the technicals and the price structure today, talking about if this recent move over $17,000 is a bull trap, or will it be a form of a continuation or a start of a new uptrend that could potentially take us to that $18,000 level. Before you get into it, smash the like button, hit the comment button, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We do daily objective analysis of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole. We focus on the data only, for technicals and price action only. So if you're interested in that, this is the place to be. Also, go ahead and join our Telegram channel. Second link down below. You get access to all our charts, videos, news, information, updates, and so much more. And if you are interested in joining our VIP channel, you can go ahead and contact me directly via the free channel to get access to our trading channel, where we post all of our trade signals, analysis, as and more. As you can see, each trade signal has entries, targets, stop loss, and exactly the risk is identified. Very straightforward stuff, guys. Let's go ahead and get into the video. So we'll start with our market data as always. Bitcoin for the month has obviously closed out. We closed out November red at negative 16.23%. We're obviously first day into December now, so not really too much is going on. But of course, starting off December, we are at negative 0.33 for the month so far. And obviously December is only just started, only about 12 hours into December. So not a lot of price action as of now. The quarter is of course down 11% now, so it has come up slightly. We're moving around a little bit there. We were down around 21% a couple days ago, so we have moved up nice and well. It's good to see that the quarter is coming more and more positive. Of course, if we do close this red, this will be the first consecutive 4 red quarters we've ever seen on Bitcoin in the history of Bitcoin. Very interesting stuff. Moving on, volatility has spiked. As we said the other day, it takes a while for volatility to catch up on a 30-day period, but generally we're going to see volatility start to move upwards as a price action starts to break resistances, break horizontal and diagonal levels, and starts to become a little bit more volatile. We can expect volatility, the data, to start catching up. As volatility rises, we expect liquidations to rise. Liquidations as of now for 24-hour period isn't too high. They're not low, they're not high. They're kind of sitting in the middle. Anything above 100 is kind of high. Anything below 50 is getting a little low. Anything below around 20 is very low. So we're kind of in that middle range where we don't have a lot of volume, we don't have a lot of volatility, but we are quite high up in price. So that is a warning sign. We want to see volatility climb, we want to see volume climb while we're at these levels to sustain above these levels. We'll come back and talk about it. Let's talk about the broader market, because the broader market is very relevant right now, as there's something on the broader market that I do want to definitely discuss and will help us identify the price action for the broader markets, of course, for Bitcoin. That is obviously number one, the DXY. And the DXY has come down and retested this major support zone once more. The support zone being the 105.3 to the 105.7 zone. If we do manage to fail to hold above this level, we can expect a continuation downwards towards this 103.8 level. So a pretty big move for DXY to its downside if that does occur. As you can see, we did actually create this uptrend. We climbed up, we tested that trigger level, which we're talking about 107.2 to the exact point, exactly 107.2. We failed to push over, we rejected from that trigger back down to the level. As we talked in yesterday's video, that was a potential. For us to see any sort of move to the upside for the DXY, we do need to break over that trigger. If we break over the trigger, we can expect a continuation back up to 109. So for now, we are still in this downtrend. It is still pushing into the support zone. We have to expect support to be support until it's not, and we take a look at the rest of the market now. So the total crypto market cap, of course, is coming up to retest some of these lows we developed at around June. We're testing some of these lows. Again, not really breaking through anything over here. We have a lot of wicks down over here. This whole area is pretty strong resistance, but we do have this major market-wide resistance sitting slightly higher. So we do have some room to go upwards here, but we are in a period now where we're pushing through smaller moving averages. We are in a period between the 50 and this upper moving average to 32 where we can definitely exhaust in the trend. So if we're going to start exhausting this trend, we're going to start exhausting the trend from here onwards before there's resistance. So we're watching out for reversal points from here onwards. S&P 500 and Dow Jones. Dow Jones has pushed up to retest this major POC level. As you can see on the VRP here, our POC is sitting around 34668. That is the point of control, the area of volume resistance on a horizontal scale. We still do have this bearish divergence forming, which is of course is rising price action, declining momentum, indicating weakness in the trend. That alongside the DXY where it is, it could potentially indicate we have some degree of reversal coming. This is where it gets really interesting though, that S&P 500 has retested and is currently retesting the bear market resistance, guys. This is the bear market. This trend is the downtrend, a macro downtrend. Breaking through here means we break out of the bear market. It doesn't mean we go into a bull market, it means we break out of the bear market, okay? We can develop a new uptrend. We are retesting here. We're at a major ejection point right now. Even a market is going to respond positively. We're going to push higher. Everything's going to go green, or we're going to get heavily rejected back down to the bottom of this ascending channel formation and potentially actually head back down to this low area around 3,650. So a big decision time coming. Again, we are at market-wide resistance over here, and we have to infer that onto the Bitcoin chart and understand that the S&P is at resistance. We have 0.7 degree of correlation towards the traditional markets. If this market's at resistance, DXY is at support, we're most likely to follow that with Bitcoin. Moving on from there, guys, we can see bond yields are pushing down on the 10 years. The 2-year has found support on the 50 SMA, which is very interesting. This is, of course, a potential support point. We did actually break below this way back in August, indicating a bit of weakness in the trend. But prior to that, we haven't actually lost this 50 SMA for a long time. Well, technically, you know, look at this. We've been above the 50 SMA since September 2021, which is huge. Breaking down below the 50 SMA on the daily chart could send the bond yields down. If the bond yields go down, the markets flip positive. That is no coincidence, guys. Look where the S&P 500 is at the time of its retest. S&P 500 is right at this resistance. If the bond yields fail to hold in here and break down, we can expect S&P 500 to go up. We can expect the DXY to continue downwards, and of course Bitcoin will continue upwards. But let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin, because that is why we're here. What we're noticing on the Bitcoin chart straight away is we're noticing two things. One, market structure. We have a horizontal channel. Okay, this is a horizontal channel formation with a breakout to the top side. The only thing is, this is a bearish horizontal channel because we entered from the top side in. Okay, so we have a bearish horizontal channel with an upward break, which is okay. It's about a 65% chance they break to the upside, 65% chance they break downwards. So, you know, the rest 35% chance bearish channels can break to the upside. So it's not unlikely they break to the upside. They can break to the upside. We have to understand what's happening here. So horizontal channel has broken to the upside. The price action on a smaller time frame, we go down to like a 30-minute chart, we can see is developing some degree of a bearish divergence. A bearish divergence occurring on the chart here below this 17,200 level, above the 17,000 level. It can indicate a degree of weakness in the trend. So it can indicate to us, okay, the strength of this trend is starting to deplete. We can go ahead and draw some other RSI levels in here. We are underneath this RSI, this uptrend over here, again, rejecting from that pennant formation that we have formed at this point here, indicating again, weakness in the trend. We could potentially see some degree of reversal here. Now, for us to see any degree of reversal, we do actually need to come down and lose these levels. I would like to see a loss of this level here, which is 16,750. Losing 16,750, in my eyes, is going to confirm the continuation back down to these levels. Until then, we are definitely in a uptrend. The uptrend is very much obvious over here. You can see this uptrending support line, and we will continue in this uptrend, bouncing around these levels if we so need to. So losing this uptrend support line will confirm that next move down. We're looking for a loss of this low before we enter massive shorts on Bitcoin to continue towards the downside. But all in all, guys, Bitcoin is looking relatively overbought here. It's looking like the trend is starting to weaken. We don't have the volume that we really would like to see pushing past these levels. The volatility isn't really there. The RSI is indicating weakening in the momentum, and the trend is definitely starting to weaken in strength. So it's not looking all well for Bitcoin at this level. We'd like to see a little bit more strength being shown on the smaller time frames at its level. If we start going to a 4-hour, we can see how overbought we are over here. The RSI is quite high. That doesn't mean we're necessarily going to come down straight away. But if we start pushing back below 70 here, we generally have a overbought signal entry, meaning when the RSI pushes above 70, we're overbought. but we only have that entry signal for a short when it actually crosses back below. So just being overbought doesn't tell us anything. It's the shift in the momentum that matters for the RSI. Remember, it's not where the RSI is, it's where the RSI goes to. It's where the shift occurs. So the shifts in momentum is what actually matters for these signals. So looking at the 4 hour here, guys, if we do see the RSI turn around and lose this 70 zone before we start making some more highs over here, it could start getting pretty ugly for Bitcoin at this level. This level could be actually deemed as some degree of a fake out. Now on the uptrend, guys, let's just go ahead and assume we develop uptrend here. We find support at this level, the support comes down, we retest, we continue upwards, we find a nice support here. The levels we're looking for are very, very clear. Okay, so look at the BRPV here. We have a very, very low volume range all the way up over here, guys. We are looking for a retest of a max at around 18,174. Again, 18,174 is a key level for Bitcoin. If we go ahead and zoom this out and extend that horizontal level right over here, we can see we're retesting the lows of this June level. So very important area here. Pushing up there, we do have that 19,500 POC, that 19,000-ish level between 19,500 to, you know, lower 20,000, so 19,800-ish is a major resistance. That is the level that we do need to break above to actually start flipping this pattern, flipping all of this price action to more bullish. If we go ahead and look at the price action here, we can see a few things. We see a descending trend line over here. We see a rising trend line over here. So we have some degree of bullish divergence on the larger time frame. We do know we had a descending triangle pattern develop at this point over here. We'll go ahead and adjust that a little bit. At this point over here, we had this descending triangle pattern form over here, which means we did have that bearish breakdown, but now that has formed into a descending wedge formation. So again, for us to start looking bullish on the macro, we need to get above this level here, which is at 19,000, as well as this diagonal trend line. Now that actually lines up perfectly with this chart over here. Looking for an honest, reliable and accurate exchange that you can trust to trade on, go ahead and sign up to Bitget with the link down below and join myself and all of our other VIP members and other members who trade on Bitget daily. There's a whole range of benefits and features you can actually get by trading on Bitget. These include no government regulations, meaning you can sign up from anywhere in the world. There's no KYC. 0% trading fees on spot, massively reduced trading fees on futures, is one of the lowest in the game, and most importantly, access to their protection fund in case the exchange gets hacked. You can actually get reimbursed for your funds, so you can ensure your funds are safe. Now, most importantly, if you do sign up with the link down below, that first link, you'll get access to 2 additional features. These include access to a reward center where you can get up to $4,163 in rewards, and access to the MegaWhale exclusive referral link, bonus discounts. Every other month we do bonus campaigns. We get up to 10% off your trading fees, or even you get a percentage of your trading fees refunded to your account as USDT. Essentially, you get paid to be on the exchange. That's enough, guys. We'll get back into the video, which is this macro descending channel pattern for Bitcoin. So we have this macro descending channel, and of course that is a bullish reversal pattern. If we go ahead and look at the zones we need to break above, we need to break above this key level of resistance here, which is at upper 18,100 level, and this diagonal resistance lines up with that level there. So breaking through here again will confirm again that breakout around that level will enable us to retest that level over here and potentially go up into this 20 zone. So on the small time frame, guys, we are looking potentially overbought, sorry. We're looking like we're weakening in the trend, but as soon as we go to these larger time frames, it's starting to look better and better. So on the small time frame, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some degree of a pullback around this level. We have seen quite a strong trend here. You know, we're looking around 7% upwards. I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of pullback. I'd be watching for the key support levels on the pullback, meaning I'd be watching for this level here. I'd be watching for this level here. If we start to lose these levels, that is when I'd be worried again. That's when I'd be worried. That's when I'd be thinking, okay, this is probably a bull trap. We're heading back down. Until that happens, we are in a strong uptrend. The larger time frame starting to look better. We haven't broken through any key resistances yet. That's very important to understand. We haven't actually cleared any major macro resistances. At the end of the day, this is just a 15-day resistance. You know, we're looking at this level here. This is like a 6-month-long resistance. So we're looking at these major macro levels of resistance that we do need to break through before we start clearing these resistances, before we start flipping any macro trends. Until then, we're just developing a nice short-term uptrend, which is of course nice to see after 20 or so days of horizontal resistance and consolidation. So moving on from there, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the Brave New Coin Liquidators. And this is a question I was asked a few days ago. And this is whether or not the Pi cycle is actually still valid. Because as you already know, guys, the Pi cycle has done a phenomenal job at predicting bottoms and tops for Bitcoin basically the entire time, right? It's predicted the last two bottoms perfectly over here. And in 2018, it's predicted the tops perfectly. It even predicted the top over here quite well in 2021. You know, the top over here was quite well at around April. I do think that April was a top. I don't think November was a top. I think November extension, as per our divergence, was nothing more than an overextension. If we go back to this chart over here and we zoom out, we can see, and how I was talking about this the other day, I was telling you guys that when you look at bearish divergences, we do generally have these wicks up on bearish divergences, but the one you're looking at is the prior wick. So we have this overextension in price that took us around to 69,000. I do believe that was an overextension. Anyway, nevertheless, guys, the Pi cycle bottom actually indicated as 17,600, if not actually 18,800 was the bottom. So it'll be very interesting to see what actually happens here, since in history, the Pi cycle has basically predicted the exact bottom, if not very close to the bottom, and the top has indicated the exact top, if not very close to the top. Moving back to this chart, guys, and deleting everything from this chart, we are very close, or getting very close to these macro bottoms. If we take a look at the VRPV, you can see we have developed a very nice strong chunk of support at around this 16,600 level. Again, this was not present 2-3 weeks ago. 2-3 weeks ago, this chunk wasn't there. We just had a straight drop. Okay, and that's what I said. During these low historical trading volume ranges, we are able to create new supports. This is where new supports are created. So just as it said 2-3 weeks ago that the price was just going to fall through 18,000 and go straight to 12,000 or 13,900, that eliminates, or that idea basically ignores the fact that support can be created. So we have seen a period now where support can be created, support has been created. We're looking at a loss of that level before we expect any sort of continuation back downwards. If we do happen to go lower, the next lows are sitting around 13,900 to that $12,000 level. Again, for anything like that to occur, we're going to have to come on the short term. We're going to have to lose these upper support ranges. We're going to have to lose this lower support range here, and we're going to have to break through and down below this 15,500 support to continue down. We now have 4 major supports below us, as well as the POC level at 16,600 on the small time frame. So we have a lot of support chunk over here. Look at the support. We have a lot of support below us. For us to start pushing through these levels is going to take a lot of selling pressure, and it can happen, but right now we are very much in a nice clear uptrend, a strong uptrend. But again, this uptrend is showing signs of weakness that we do need to be aware of, because this can very much turn into a bull trap like we have seen before. We have seen market structures exactly like this before. We've pushed sideways, we push up, we bull trap, we reject. I think if I go back to, let me see if I can find one. If we go back to the 4-hour chart, now I may not be able to find one, but let me have a look. Go back to the 4-hour chart. Let's see. Do we have one over here? We had some degree of one. We had some degree of a horizontal channel here. So we had a degree of a horizontal channel over here. Okay, this was a weak horizontal channel. Not a perfect example, but we had this sideways consolidation, we had this push up, and we had this bull trap rejection and head back down. So we definitely can see some kind of repeat of that. It is definitely possible, because again, we are losing the momentum here. We are losing the volume here above this level. It is showing some degree of weakness, but we do have a lot of support below us. For me to say we're just going to go straight down is quite a bold statement. So we're looking at these horizontal supports. Keep our eye on those levels before we make the next move. That being said, guys, I might leave the video there, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Cheers.